Alright fellas, well that certainly lived up to the hype. Bivol vs Beterbiev is a fight that all boxing fans have wanted for years, and finally it actually happened. This was a fight where both fighters came in with fantastic game plans, and both of them executed them terrifically. And what resulted was 12 rounds of some of the highest level boxing we have seen in quite a while. So after this big fight, I want to have a look at before the fight, the big fight itself, and what could be next for the pair. So let's get right into it. This was a fight I thought I would never get to see. For years this potential matchup was clouded by bureaucratic and promotional issues. With Beterbiev getting up there in age, I thought truly we'd probably never see the day when these two face off. Yet with the introduction of the Saudis into boxing, this obviously all changed. And that brings us to the modern day. The lead up to this fight over the past week has been what you'd expect. Both men are a very few words. The most you really got out of them was the face-to-face that was recorded quite clearly months ago. It's such a rare instance where for a fight as big as this, neither man has to rely on the trash talking. Their boxing just does the talking. Now I won't go too deep into the undercard because a few strange things happened and I think they deserve a video on their own. So make sure to subscribe, as over the next coming days expect me to cover everything. Let me know what undercard fight you want covered down below. But now onto the main event. Both fighters came into the ring looking composed and focused. No panic, Spence against Crawford sorta looks. To just summarize the rounds quickly, Bivol won the opening round really by just utilizing his jab. Through the second he started sitting down on his punches a bit more. He found a bit of success with that power left hook. But by the start of the third, Beterbiev came out a lot stronger, yet I would say Bivol won most of the exchanges and did enough to also win this round. Beterbiev's increased pace follows through the next couple rounds, with Bivol being bullied through the fourth yet evading damage through his lateral movement. Less bullying in the fifth, but Beterbiev does enough to win that round 2. Round 6 we saw Bivol trying to wrestle control back, yet Beterbiev continued to control the pace. Round 7 and 8 were more 50-50 rounds. I saw them out for Bivol, but they could be scored either way. Round 9 we saw Bivol return to the basics, his 1-2s and then he slides out of danger. I would give this one to Bivol also. Round 10 was another strong round by Bivol, yet the late surge from Beterbiev had the potential to sway it on the cards. The 11th was Beterbiev's best round by far and was basically only one-way traffic, and although in the 12th Bivol gave it back, Beterbiev was landing the better shots. So then it came down to the thing that boxing fans love to hate, the scorecard. My thoughts going into the decision was Bivol did enough. I thought Bivol had rounds 1 to 3 and 7 to 9 on his side, and I assumed one round would swing his way, most likely being the 10th. I thought Bivol did enough to pull it over the line. I wouldn't have been unhappy with a close decision either way. Beterbiev in the end took it home with the decision, but that 116-112 scorecard in favour of Beterbiev was just criminal. Let me know how you scored it down below. In my opinion, having him up 4 rounds in a fight truly this close just stinks, and it puts a sour note on such a great fight. If Beterbiev won a decision where all the cards were close, you would understand it. Yet unfortunately this scorecard will prove to overshadow the victory a bit, because it will be the thing which fans heavily debate over the next few days, instead of focusing on how brilliant of a fight we just saw. I just wished we had reliable judges in the sport, yet this sort of thing unfortunately comes with boxing. Just one thing I thought was interesting was Eddie Hearn saying the word got around about Beterbiev winning before the judges read out the scorecards.
Rank knew Artur Beterbiev lost this fight. Then the word got around that Artur Beterbiev has won a majority decision. I'm absolutely baffled and disgusted of a scorecard to 116, 112, 115, 130.
Yet questionable things and judging aside, Beterbiev was crowned the better man on the night and put up a deserving performance. I want to mention also, I think both fighters were incredibly humble in their post-fight interviews. Beterbiev, a man of very few words, was very humble in victory, and so was Bivol. For Bivol, it was one of the better post-fight speeches I've seen from a losing party in a match that was so big and so tight on the scorecards. He said the perfect things when he could have screamed about how he thought he was hard done by. Truly class from both fighters. Now put the debate on who won aside, this sort of fight is fantastic for boxing. The sport itself won. It's a fight not promoted on who can talk the loudest, it's a fight people wanted to watch purely based on the boxing itself. Two fighters came into the ring incredibly focused and put on a fight which was worth the money for all the fans, and will be remembered and studied for years to come. Now the question of course turns to what's next, and that's probably an immediate rematch. A potential trilogy match could be just the thing that boxing needs at the moment, and after this performance the hype around a rematch would be massive. Bivol of course would want to get his get back. Him and his promoters would feel hard done by and will seek this rematch. For Beterbiev, he will probably want to try solidify himself as the best light heavyweight of this generation, so he'll most likely take the rematch if offered. And it looks like it will be, with Turki after the fight stating he thought Bivol won, and he wants to make the rematch happen. There was of course talks of a matchup with Canelo for the victor next year, which I don't see really happening as long as the Saudis are involved. There was also talks for Beterbiev if he won, moving up to face Opetaia at cruiserweight. Yet I think at this stage of his career, taking one of the bigger weight jumps in boxing to chase a fight which wouldn't be huge money is pretty unlikely. With the other two biggest challengers in Benavidez and Morrell looking like they're tied up in an eliminator sort of fight in January, that leaves enough time for this rematch to take place. It's simply what makes the most sense. Other than Canelo, it's the biggest fight that either of them could find themselves in, with most likely the highest payday possible. Now I want to hear your thoughts. As I said before, leave all your thoughts on the undercard, the bout itself, and what you think is next down below. If you enjoyed, please consider liking and subscribing. I'll always try my best to keep you all updated. Thanks for watching fellas, I'll catch you in the next one.